What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and today I'm going to be doing a drop test of the brand new HTC One M9 and comparing the results to the iPhone 6. Now this is the latest and greatest from HTC. They're really proud of their One series, and this is a collection of all of the refinements from the M8 and prior phones. We get a phone that's refined in every way, even the shell. You know, HTC is really proud of that, and I want to put it to the test. The Gorilla Glass 4, I want to see how it compares to the ion strengthened glass on the iPhone 6. So while the HTC One M9 has the latest technology in Gorilla Glass, it's the 4th generation. That means it's very shatter resistant. Now, the iPhone 6 doesn't have anything special about the display. It's just ion strengthened, which means it's better for shatter resistance than it is for scratch resistance. And in this video, I want to do a couple tests. Are these phones going to be durable? I mean, a year from now, if you look back, are these phones going to be beat up? Is the screen going to crack if you just drop it from waist height? I want to put all that to the test.
All right, so just to show you guys here, I'm unboxing the gold to silver version of the HTC One M9. Got it a little bit earlier than anybody else. Phone looks good. It's actually very proportioned to the iPhone, just a little bit taller, a little bit wider, and it's a lot thicker. So let's go ahead and see how these will fare in your pocket if you throw it in with your keys. The iPhone 6 scratches very easily. This is light to medium pressure, and you can see some really deep gouges. Now, no matter how much I tried, I could not get a single scratch to stay on that sapphire crystal lens cover. Now, Apple did a very good job with this. The border around it scratches easily, not so much for the lens cover. Let's get the screen protector out of the way, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to scratch the screen with my knife. Now, because of the material, the iPhone is more prone to scratches. Very light scratches from day-to-day usage you will notice more on the iPhone. So after scratching it with the iPhone and the keys, I could notice some very small hairline scratches. It's very hard to see on the camera, but they are there. Now on the HTC One M9, applying the same amount of pressure yielded less scratches. So it's as if the aluminium material is actually harder on the HTC One M9 and more soft on the iPhone. Scratches just appear easier on the iPhone. Now the lens glass is also made of sapphire crystal on the HTC One M9, and it did crack when I attempted to scratch it. Now, this is because sapphire crystal is a very brittle material. It's good against scratches, not so much against pressure and shock. Now the iPhone 6 lens cover seemed to do a little bit better in this test, maybe because it had less surface area. I did see some small scratches on the HTC One M9 lens cover. Body-wise, the HTC One M9 definitely did a lot better than the iPhone, both on the front of the display and the rear. I didn't see any scratches on the HTC One M9 display, whereas on the iPhone 6, the ion strengthened glass just cannot compare to the latest technology when it comes to Gorilla Glass 4.
All right, so I'm going to drop the iPhone 6 first. Now this is a device I've had for a while. I trust it. It's not very good at scratch resistance, but I've never broken a phone. That's why I feel extremely bad about this, breaking phones on purpose, but all in the name of testing the durability. Anyways, so iPhone 6 waist height drop test. Say you're taking it out of your pocket and you drop it on accident. I'm just going to drop it on the side. All right, here we go. All right, so very minimal wear, just has a couple gouges from the concrete on here. Otherwise, display looks good, so that's just waist height. All right, so this is test number 1, waist height for the HTC One M9. And I gotta say, this thing feels durable. The construction is unibody. It definitely has more borders around it than the iPhone does, so I think this will hold up better in the long run. Anyways, waist height drop in 3, 2, 1. All right, so definitely some deep gouges. I can already see the display is fine. This thing does scratch easy, I gotta tell you that, but definitely less of a dent than the iPhone had. The iPhone, the aluminum bent in a little bit. This thing seems to be holding up pretty well. So it looks good. Both of these phones did hold up well. Displays are working just fine. Let's go ahead and go to the next test. All right, so this is the iPhone 6 head height. Say you're talking on your phone, you just ate a greasy croissant and you drop your phone. This is what would happen with an iPhone 6. So I'm about 5'11". It's about the height of me right here. Here we go. All right, I don't see any scratches on the display. This thing is holding up pretty well. I mean, the display is just coming out a little bit, sticking out, but overall, definitely some deep gouges. Looks good though. Display is functional, working. Cool. All right, and here is the HTC One M9 head height test. 3, 2, 1. Display looks good. It is functional. So we got some gouges on the top, a couple nicks right there. Definitely a big dent right here. The iPhone looks like it's holding up a little bit better, but it also has some dents to that aluminum frame. Overall, both displays are working after a head height fall. Really cool. Let's go ahead and do the 10-foot drop.
So just measuring out 10 feet, I mean, I doubt you'll be dropping it from 10 feet, but it's good to know what the results would be.
All right, so here we are on the 10-foot drop test. I got my buddy from Chifir Bros YouTube channel to help me. He's standing on his motorcycle. We couldn't find anything else to stand on. Let's go ahead and see the results of the 10-foot drop test for the iPhone 6. All right, I'm a little nervous to go ahead and see what happened, but looks like it's still good. But looks like there's some really deep gouges in there. Overall display is working, looks to be just fine. So let's go ahead and see the results of this one. That did not sound good. Body's starting to look real beat up. Display is good. I see some slight fractures in the actual steel. It looks like there's little spider webs in there if you look in real close. But man, what an impact. The whole display is coming off a little bit. Overall, still working though. Display is working. That is very surprising. So here it is compared to the iPhone. That's the impact point for the iPhone. It looks like it didn't do much, whereas on the HTC One M9, man, this thing is just crushed right here. I can put my fingernail in there. So surprisingly, it looks really good for both of them. Let's go ahead and do a face down test now. All right, so I have both of these phones now. I'm going to be doing a face down pocket height drop test. This is where it matters. This is where the true durability of that display matters. So about pocket height for me, dropping in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Both of them did survive. HTC has heavy damage on all of the aluminum around the display. iPhone looks good, no cracks, still working. Cool. I mean, these are surprisingly more durable than I could have imagined. Let's go ahead and do the head height drop test face down. All right, now this is the head height face down drop test. Obviously, I'm not a robot. I'm not going to be able to get them to drop perfectly. I will attempt. I'm just going to drop them. I mean, try and get them on their face as best as possible. 3, 2, 1. And ooh, looks like the iPhone 6 has had enough. So it has cracked. Display looks to be working. Digitizer is still working. You know, it's not too bad, but a lot of spiderweb cracking from the bottom. Whereas the HTC One M9 display is working. This thing is holding up like a champ. Gotta say, HTC made this thing right. Durability is definitely really good. So while the HTC One M9 is usable, the iPhone 6 slightly less so. You're gonna get a whole bunch of cracks down here bothering your vision, but overall, I'm amazed. HTC made a very durable device. So guys, I just have one final test. Let's go ahead and see how these compete versus a motorcycle.
Gotta be safe. I always wear a helmet.
Oh man, yeah, you beat this thing up good. It's a little bent, but it works. So cool. Almost survived a motorcycle. Always make sure to put your strap in. Oh man, I'm so nervous. I can feel the screen is coming out right here. Oh my God, it's not cracked. It works. It's literally coming out of the phone. The unibody has separated at the antenna band, and man, let me see if I could, but this thing still works after an impact with a motorcycle. So it looks like out of the iPhone 6 versus HTC One M9, the M9 was the clear winner. This thing has survived more abuse than the iPhone, but the camera on the iPhone 6, the glass looks to be in slightly better condition because it is a smaller surface. So overall, both look good. However, functionality-wise, the HTC One M9 is just a little bit better than the iPhone. I would trust myself dropping this thing more than the iPhone. So in conclusion, the HTC One M9, although it looks really bad, the screen has survived. That Gorilla Glass 4 really makes a difference. Whereas the iPhone 6 ion strengthened glass is good for shatter resistance, not so much for 10-foot drops or motorcycles. I mean, it has done pretty well. The body-wise, aluminum looks really good, although it has a couple jagged edges from the concrete. Still very good condition. HTC One M9, I wouldn't say is doing too bad. It's just the frame had some issues after being run over by a motorcycle. I mean, that's to be expected. But overall, both phones do work. They're still usable. I gotta say, HTC has made a quality phone. This thing really can take a hit.
Just thought I'd throw these scenes in here. We did a burnout on top of the bike. Surprisingly, the iPhone 6 survived. The display was half melted, all cracked, the frame is bent, but this thing is still a trooper. So there you go, guys. We pretty much did everything we possibly could to destroy these phones, and both survived. Both are still working. However, the HTC One M9 can just take a hit. Man, the screen has become separated from the unibody. This thing is dented, scratched, yet the display is still working, hasn't been cracked. I mean, that speaks a lot for the Gorilla Glass 4. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. If you're making a decision between these two just based on durability, you cannot go wrong with the HTC One M9. Try to kill it in every way we could not get that screen to break. And the iPhone 6 did surprisingly well. It was only until the 10-foot drop that it actually broke. So you can't go wrong with either one of these. HTC One M9 is going to be able to handle those more extreme situations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day. I'm looking forward to making the S6 video. Peace!